Welcome to the Sonny and Share pod. In this week's fantasy episode, we are going to be talking about double game weeks, blank game weeks, the latest fixtures that have just been released after the FA Cup quarter-finals have been done, and what to do with your remaining chips if you have any. If you're anything like me, I've used most of mine, so I only really have a free hit left. So I'm hoping that CJ is going to tell me what to do. How are you doing, CJ, mate?
All good, mate. All good. It's strange. It's probably the longest break from fantasy I can ever remember.
Yeah.
Like, literally in the history of the game, sort of thing. It's mad. It's funny because our group was getting so into it in terms of it's always just dropped off the face of the earth, isn't it? In terms of the WhatsApp, we need to reignite it. But hopefully this pod will reignite it, because there's lots of fantasy bits and bobs to go through tonight regarding double game week 33 and blank game week 34. But I'll jump straight in. So the Premier League confirmed that the clubs who won their FA Cup quarter-finals would have a double game week in 33 and a blank game week in 34. Those fixtures will be played between Tuesday the 21st of April and Thursday the 23rd of April. So as City, Chelsea and Leeds all won their FA Cup quarter-finals, they will have a double game week in 33. City will face Arsenal at home and Burnley away. Chelsea will face United at home, Brighton away. And Leeds will face Wolves at home and Bournemouth away. There's also 3 other teams that will double in 33 as well. They are Bournemouth, Brighton and Burnley. So Bournemouth will face Newcastle away, Leeds at home. Brighton will face Spurs away, Chelsea at home, and Burnley will face Forest away and City at home. So it's also now confirmed that all these 6 teams who double in game week 33 will blank in game week 34. So firstly, mate, what are your thoughts? Yeah, what are your thoughts on that?
This is a total headache. Do you know what? It's probably my poor planning. But I've been slowly, because of City's sort of like very average form, I've been slowly shedding their players recently. Yeah. Sort of same with Arsenal, really.
Yeah.
Because, you know, most of the time this season, we've all been doubled up on Arsenal defence, haven't we? And then their form has dropped a little bit. They're not as tight defensively as they were. So I've dropped Timber. I've still got Gabriel. I've still got Rice. Do I have a third? Arsenal? No, I don't think I do. And then I had Semenyo, O'Reilly and Haaland. I've gotten rid of Haaland and O'Reilly. I only have Semenyo. So now it's a question for me whether what game week are we coming up to? Are we coming up to
We're
game
coming
week
up to 32. So we've got one more
32.
before we actually say if we want to make a few moves, we can. How many free transfers have you got? Have you got one?
Just the one. Yeah, just the one, which is not great. Yeah, so I'm a little bit stuck in no man's land at the moment. Even looking at those double games, that you wouldn't say, with the exception of maybe City, that those fixtures are favourable, if you see what I mean. Like there's Chelsea doubling up against Manchester United and Brighton away. So, sorry, yeah. Manchester United at home, Brighton away. Neither of those fixtures are super easy, right? So, are you really going to target three Chelsea players for that? City have got Arsenal at home and Burnley away. You've got to think, if they've got any chance of winning the title, they need to win both those, especially the Arsenal one at home. So maybe, I guess my free hit's going on 33. It's got to, right? I've got absolutely no other choice.
What, you're going to do it on 33? You're going to do it on 33
so.
for the double rather than the blank?
I think so. I don't know.
Tough.
Yeah, it's a tough one. What are you going to do?
It is tough. I think I've only got a free hit left, so it's whether I do it with and just pick 11 players who double. The only good thing about that is that you're guaranteed 44 points straight away. Do you know what I mean? If they all...
How have you figured that out?
Pretty much. If they all play
Yeah.
both games, they get 2 points for an
Yeah.
appearance, so you're guaranteeing yourself 44 points, aren't you? If you
Right,
do that.
right, right, right. But that, I mean, that's that. If it's a double game week, they're going to have some rotation and resting, surely. Like, what are the actual difference in the fixtures? So, like, when City play Arsenal, and then how many days later do they play Burnley?
I
'Cause-
imagine so. Yeah, the midweek ones are going to be Tuesday and Thursday. So I imagine it'll be Tuesday, Thursday, or Tuesday, Saturday, Thursday, Sunday, or Thursday, Monday. So you're right.
yeah,
It's a quick
yeah,
turnaround, especially with the only thing. Obviously, City and Chelsea are out of the Champions League, so
yeah.
there's
True.
none of that. The only thing, the team I do like, to be honest, is
Mm,
Leeds. Wolves at home, Bournemouth away, fighting for their lives. Not sure I'd pick any of them, but the one I would potentially have a go on for that would be Calvert-Lewin.
yeah,
Maybe a straight swap for Thiago potentially, but then again, the only thing with bringing these players in, if you're not doing it as a free hit, then you've got him for the rest of the season. That's the
yeah.
thing. Do you know
And
what I mean?
and you've got a blank game week straight after. So anyone that you're bringing in for the double are then not going to play the next week. So it's a double-edged
That's it.
sword, right? Is that right?
It is tough. It's tough. And like, I think, like I said, City, I think, has to potentially be a treble up if you can. Chelsea, like, I've got João Pedro. I was going to get rid of Sanchez, but there's no point now. I might as well just keep him. So I might
Yeah.
add another Chelsea player if I can get Palmer in. And that's probably where I'm going to stop. But
Mm,
just talking about chip strategy, if you do, because there's quite a few people in our league that have their wild card left. So
mm,
if you have wild cards and free hit, I would
mm,
wild card in this game week or
mm.
33. Probably this game week, set your team up. If you have bench boost as well, you can bench boost in 33. But I would be wildcarding this week to set my team up for the rest of the season with those doubles and blanks in mind, because I would play potentially my free hit in 34. I think I'm definitely going to do the free hit, sorry, in 34 because I've got, do you know what I mean? I've got two Chelsea players at the moment, a City player, a Bournemouth player.
Mm.
Like, I might be able to get by. We'll see. To be fair, I might have a look, but I do like your little epiphany of doing it for the double. I do like that.
The only reason I would do that, I think, is because I'm chasing points or overall ranking. Because the
Okay.
free hit on a double game week, you could triple up on City, double up on Chelsea, double up on Leeds, and then look at Bournemouth, Brighton, maybe not Burnley, but Bournemouth and Brighton. You could look at
Yeah.
assets there, and then, well, it depends where you are in the league, right? Because I'm pretty much guaranteed to make the playoffs at this point. If I do play a free hit in 33, it's basically guaranteeing me a loss in 34.
But for you, yeah, it doesn't matter, does it?
But for me, it wouldn't matter because I'm still in the playoffs, right? So if I'm chasing overall ranking globally, which I'm trying to do at the same time as juggling this head to head, then yeah, maybe free hit 33, and then just whoever I'm playing in 34, you can have 3 points.
Yeah, no,
That's my
and that's,
position though. So yeah,
yeah, I really like that. I really like that, to be honest, because, like I said, 11 players with a double game week is so unique, isn't it? Obviously, there are
have
the
we ever
chances
had
of
that
rotation.
11 players? Yeah,
Yeah,
have we ever had 30?
I don't
11.
think so, because, like we said, we always save the free hits for the blanks. But actually,
Yeah,
in if you are chasing rank, it's not a bad shout at all to go for that double and then just try and negate that blank as much as you can. Because let's be honest,
yeah,
you will, like, I'm looking at my team. I've got two City, two Chelsea, one Bournemouth. So
yeah.
realistically, I'm only gonna have potentially, I'll have
5
nine
players
players,
out.
but I
Yeah,
may make a couple of subs that will
yeah,
help me for that game.
yeah,
So free hit in
yeah.
33. I haven't even thought about that till you said it. It's actually, that's got the
It's
juices.
tempting,
That's
mate.
got the juices flowing now. It has, because I need to win. I need to win my
Yeah.
game. I don't know who I've got. who I've
Who
got
have you got in
in.
33? There you go,
I
mate.
don't
You need
know.
to have a look at that. I'll look at that. You carry on. I'll see who you've got in 33, and I need
Yeah,
to
have
look
a
at
look
who
for
I've
me.
got in 33 as well, because
Y-
it all depends on what chips our opponents have at this stage, the
Yes.
crucial stage of the season.
Yeah, because have a look. I think I've got Mike in 34, and he's got his free hit
Hmm.
left, so I imagine
Yeah.
he'll play it then. Um, but just to sort of add to these fixtures, so fixtures are confirmed up to game week 35 currently in FPL.
Oh,
With
mate, so sorry to interrupt, but
Go
you'll
on,
never
mate.
guess who you've got in 33.
Have I got you?
Yeah.
I've got you.
We've got
Oh
each other in
no!
33.
Wow,
That is
wow.
fuck. Yeah, that's
To
an
be
ISO,
fair,
isn't
then,
it?
if do you know what? That's got to might have to free hit it then, mate. I'm not if you're gonna do it. We've got to do it. We might have to go
Well,
3 hits head to head. No, not free yet for the
well,
double.
well. Maybe we can come to some sort of gentleman's agreement
Gentleman's
off
agreement,
air. Neither of us play
potentially.
any chips and save them for other matchups. I don't know. We're gonna have to think about that. And then, do you know who I've got in 34? I've got Butler.
Have you actually? Wow.
Yeah,
He's
really
got nothing
couple of
left, does he? So, like, to be fair, he's got nothing
yeah.
left. So
So I
you
could I
might
could just
could
ride the blank game week out in 34, couldn't I?
you could to be
Yeah,
honest.
bloody hell.
That's mad. That's
Sorry, what were
mad.
you saying? What were you saying about game week 35?
Yeah, so fixtures are confirmed up to game week 35 currently in FPL, with Man City versus Palace penciled in for game week 36, which apparently is
Hmm.
around 90% likely to happen. However, there's a slim possibility that that fixture may move to game week 37, with Bournemouth
Mm.
versus City being moved from 37 to 36 if City reach the FA Cup final. And this would mean that Man City versus Palace would move to game week 37. So that City Palace fixture is still in the balance. So potentially, there is potential for City to have another double towards the
Mm.
end of the season. But again,
That seems
they're
slim
trying
though,
to fit
right?
that one in. It's slim at the moment. It's
Yeah.
likely to be in 36, like I said. But again, I think 3 City players, if you can get them in your team for this blank, I think is essential. To be honest, like you're looking at O'Reilly,
Mm.
Semenyo, and Haaland realistically, which is a bit shit for you having got rid of O'Reilly, particularly
Yeah.
Haaland. I think Haaland's okay to go without this week, but I'm definitely getting him back in because I quite like Ekatike at home to Fulham. But
Mm. Yeah.
but we'll
Yeah.
see. But we'll see. I don't know what. Well, actually, that can move us on nicely. Just to talk about game week 32. Like there are some very favourable fixtures in this.
Hmm.
Arsenal are at home to Bournemouth. Uh, Brentford are at home to Everton. Liverpool at
Hmm.
home to Fulham. And
Hmm.
United are at home to Leeds on Monday night.
Mm. Yeah.
I know you don't want to give your team away, mate. What are your plans regarding game week 32? I know we're looking ahead to 33, but it'd be good for our listeners to hear what we're thinking for 32.
Yes, I am in a bit of a dilemma because I feel like I dropped Haaland at the right time, right?
Yeah,
It was when he was
same.
going through that little barren streak. Now it's a question of do I want him back in? And B, do I take minus points to get him back in? Or do I wait until I've got 2 free transfers?
Yeah.
So that is the dilemma I'm currently having. It's really strange because Man City have been off the boil recently. You know, thinking about them going out of the Champions League, I think they dropped points to West Ham. Haaland, blanked for 5 games in a row, something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
which is super rare. But mate, having watched them against
Oh, I
having
know.
watched having watched them against Liverpool, I know Liverpool are also, really struggling, really, really struggling in terms of like their league form and just
Yeah.
generally their form in general, right? There's 15 losses for them this season. So I don't know whether it's a case of Liverpool being bad or Man City being exceptional, but the fact that Haaland has a hat trick in a 4-0 win is planted, a big seed of doubt in my mind as to whether I try and take minus points for the first time this season to get him back in, I ride it out and get him in as a free hit for the game week 33. I think, to be honest with you, they've got Chelsea away, don't they, this weekend?
Yes, they do.
It's quite a favourable fixture for them, to be honest with you. Like, Chelsea's form is not great. Defensively, they haven't looked great. Now with Man City out of the league, out of the Champions League, out of the League Cup. Well, they won it, didn't they? So they've really only got the Prem to focus on now, and I suppose the FA Cup. Actually, what am I talking about? Yeah, I don't know, mate. I don't know. What are you thinking?
It's tough. I think I'm in exactly the same position as you. I'm
Mm,
either gonna try and save my transfer and then
mm,
have a bit of wiggle room before that 33. But again,
mm,
if I'm gonna play that free hit in 33 against you,
mm,
then
mm.
do I?
There's no
But the
point
thing is,
saving free transfers.
that's it.
Well, until
But
34. Yeah.
like, I'm just looking like I like Ekatike at home to Fulham over Haaland away to Chelsea at the moment. But like you
Yeah.
said, City are in excellent form at the moment, and like Chelsea,
Mm,
the only thing with Chelsea, we don't know what Chelsea team are going to turn up. Chelsea could be very,
yeah.
very good and nullify City, but it could go completely opposite way, and it could go like that FA Cup game against Liverpool. City could absolutely run riot at Stamford Bridge, and if you haven't
Yeah.
got Haaland, um,
You're gonna
it's gonna
suffer.
be you're gonna suffer absolutely. But I don't want to. I don't want to swap Ekatike for Haaland, and that's the only way I'm getting him back in my team without a -4. So
Right. Right.
that's the dilemma I've got. But
Mm,
and if I save a couple of transfers, it means I can get Haaland and then maybe another City player for that double game week if
yeah.
I'm not free hit. But I'm just looking at my team there now. I'm still a bit worried about Timber. I'm really not sure what is going on there. Like I thought when I was over the international break, he started for the Netherlands.
Oh, did
I'll
he?
have a
Did
look
he?
now. I thought he
So,
did.
from what
No,
I've read, Rice and Saka are fine.
yeah.
Gabriel's fine, but the question mark is still over Timber. Yeah,
Yeah, no, he didn't.
that's what I've
Yeah,
seen.
he didn't. He didn't start. No, so he's been injured. Yeah, so that's another thing because I do like that double Arsenal defense against Bournemouth at home.
Yeah,
I'd
that
love Timber in that.
that feels like it might be a low scoring game because aren't Bournemouth really tight defensively? Obviously, Arsenal quite keep a lot of
Yeah,
clean
they
sheets.
have been. Yeah,
That
they
might
have
be
been.
like maybe like one goal in it or something. Would you consider Raya maybe instead of Timber? Like if you want to talk about
Yeah,
taking out Sanchez,
potentially,
but then you
potentially.
screw yourself over for the double game week, don't you?
That's it. It's an absolute minefield. Like you really throwing a spanner in the works doing that free hit with 33. The thing with that free hit for 33, I do love it because realistically, doing it in 33 outweigh the blank in 34. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, is the potential upside for 33 better?
exactly. It's
I think
way
it probably
higher, isn't
is.
it?
The
Yeah,
ceiling's
you're
so
more
much higher, I
likely.
think. You're right.
Exactly. Like if you think about the 2 weeks, about how to get as many points from it as possible, playing the free hit in game week 34 is more likely to get you more points in 34, but just for that week. Whereas if you play the free hit in 33 and then you just ride the blank out in 34, you probably got more points over those 2 weeks. That's my
And what
thinking behind it
And what
anyway.
we could do, obviously, me and you, I know we're probably going to go at each other in 33, but obviously, rolling a transfer into 33, we're going to have two transfers coming out the other side of a free hit as well, the
Exactly.
35.
Exactly.
And like for the 34, sorry. So we can actually potentially wiggle around to get 11 in our teams. Oh, mate, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love it.
All
I
right,
love
it's going to
it.
be free hit versus free hit. We're going to have very similar teams, I can already tell, and it's going to come
We
down to
are.
like one or two differentials. But at this stage of the season, for me at least, I'm prioritizing points because I want to finish top of the points league. I'm
Absolutely.
guaranteed, I think, to be in the playoffs. So, yeah, I think that's
Definitely.
it. But with
Yeah,
the
go on, mate.
I was going to say, what was I going to say? With the blank in 34, so those 6 teams blanking in 34, right? City,
Yeah.
Chelsea, Leeds, Bournemouth, Brighton, and Burnley. Not likely to have any Brighton or Burnley assets at this stage. But what I wanted to ask you about, actually, just moving on from the blank real quick, what about triple captain? For those who have their triple captain left, would that probably most likely is game week 35, Man City at home to Palace?
Yeah. Yeah, potentially. Well, that's going to be in 36, that one, in the City
Oh,
Palace at the moment. But like, I think you're
36.
right. Like, you have to use. I think you're targeting a City at home if you're going to use it on Haaland. But
Mm.
you potentially could do it this week with Fernandez at home to Leeds, in really good
Ah,
form, which is not a bad
yeah,
shout if you've still got it. Or
yeah.
you could do it in 33 for the double. So if you pick a pick a Haaland for triple captain, do you know what I mean? You then have
Mm.
the massive
2
upside,
fixtures.
or Semenyo or something like that. So yeah, it's a funny one because I've seen some sort of experts saying wildcard 32, bench boost 33, free hit 34. I
Mm.
really think, like I said, it's what you want to do, and I think the upside of that free hit in 33 is huge. Do you know what I
Mm.
mean? Like I said, if all your players play twice, that's 44
Mm.
points
Yeah,
straight away. Do you know what
yeah.
I mean? All you need is a few goals here and there, a couple of clean sheets. If one of your defenders gets 2 clean sheets, you are absolutely flying. It's an interesting one, but I would probably be targeting Haaland, just looking at that Liverpool fixture at the weekend in the FA Cup. But again, it's whether you do it in the double or whether you do it in those remaining home fixtures that he's got.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
Interesting,
interesting.
man. This is
What about
like,
this week, though? What about this week? What are you thinking
yeah.
captaincy wise this week without Haaland?
So here's my dilemma, because I've got Mike this week, and Mike
Yes,
has been taking point hits all season. So I don't really
yes.
know what he's going to do. However, he does have Haaland uh, at the time
Okay.
of recording. So if he
Yeah,
captains Haaland away to Chelsea and Haaland does bits, then um, I'm already a bit
yeah.
screwed there. Hang on,
Behind. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
just pulling up the rest of his team. Hang on, can't find it now. Where's he gone? Um, so yeah, I mean, Bruno Fernandes is probably the safest one at home to Leeds. Plus, it's the last game, so you sort of know what he needs to do by that point, if that makes
Yeah, yeah,
sense.
yeah, yeah. I
You've
like
got
having
that in
him
the
as captain in the
bag.
last game as well. Yeah, I do like that.
Yeah, last or the first, isn't it? Because last time it was like Man United were playing Bournemouth on the Friday night, and I think he got a goal and an assist, didn't he? And then
And he
you're
sorted everyone.
you're
Yeah.
yeah, you're heading into the weekend with a nice healthy lead. But yeah, I mean, Mike got 70 points last week, although it was 66 after his 4-point hit, and he's got the likes of Gordon, Bruno Fernandes, Harry Wilson, Haaland, Ekitike. I really don't know. So I just don't really trust captaining Ekitike,
Yeah, agreed.
because he sometimes gets randomly rested. He last time I think he came off injured after like 9 minutes, although I think he's fit for this
Yeah, he's
weekend.
fine now. Yeah, yeah.
I just feel like with Ekitike, it's like boom or bust. You're either going to get like a really high ceiling of points, or he's going to be substituted after 30 minutes, and you get a wanna.
It's a real gamble, isn't it? If you do it and he hits, he not thing is with Ekatike, he normally gets when he scores, he gets 2
Yeah,
goals. So he's
he
getting you a
gets a couple.
13-point haul, but he's had so
Yeah,
many blanks. And like I said, Fernandez at the moment is just a points machine. Do you know what I mean? I think if you
yeah,
went against Fernandez, fair play. Obviously, having them both does negate a little bit, but then if Fernandez gets 13 and Ekatika gets 2, it's still a massive upside for Fernandez. But I do think if you're going bold, you're going Ekatike, but if you're going for
mm,
consistency, I really think you can't look anywhere else other than Fernandez, to be honest. A left
yeah.
wing one
Agreed.
potentially could be Thiago, but again, Everton have been in really good form away this year, so I wouldn't probably be going
Yeah.
Thiago. I think it's between Ekatike and Fernandez. And if you have Haaland after seeing that hat trick, I wouldn't bet against him doing that against Chelsea.
Very true, very true. The good thing is about the most we're talking about these players that we're targeting. I have most of them already. So I've got Thiago at home to
Yeah,
Everton. I've got Ekitike and Virgil at home to Fulham. I don't have Vert, and I actually really enjoyed having him because I had him for about 4 weeks and he was hitting a little purple patch at that point. So I don't mind
yeah.
him, especially when you think about getting rid of like Morgan Rogers or someone like that. Like Verts
Yeah,
isn't much more
it's a nice
expensive
little
than
swap. No, it's a
Rogers.
nice little swap there. I quite like that. I might have a look at that actually.
If you can afford it. I think there's like a 0.5 mil difference, maybe a bit more in price. And then yeah, Bruno, Cunha, and Mbuemo all home to Leeds on Monday night. Leeds are relatively safe, aren't they? I mean, not.
Not really. No,
Mm,
they're not. They're not in a good place. Leeds. They are. Let me just get it up. They are.
2 points clear,
Uh,
3 points clear, maybe.
yeah. So they're 4 points clear of West Ham in 18th. They've got 33. West Ham of 29. So realistically, if they win a couple more games, they should be safe. So they will be going for it. I really think. So they've
Yeah.
got obviously United, but then the thing is, after United, they've got Wolves at home, Bournemouth away. So I think they'll probably be targeting those games rather than because
Mm,
they've got Burnley away as well. So um, it's a much of a muchness to be honest. But
mm.
Leeds United is a bit of a old rivalry, so they could turn up at
It is,
Old
isn't it?
Trafford. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. But yeah,
Mate, you've
mate,
given
lots
me
to think
lots of
about there.
yeah, you've given me lots of food for thought for this week. It's there's only a few game weeks left, and now it's about really timing your chips as much as possible in the run ups to the playoffs, or saving them for the playoffs. Because it's I was a
Absolutely.
bit gung ho with my bench boost. Actually, both times bench boost I just throw away on a random week, but actually bench boost
Yeah.
might have been really useful in like a double game week or
In
something. But
yeah, or in the playoffs, it just gives you that extra little,
yeah,
even if it's like 6, 7 points, it gives you a little buffer, doesn't it? An extra buffer. But
yeah,
it's a bit of a nothing chip, though. Do you know what I mean? Like it can go
yeah,
really well or it can go shit. But like I think
yeah.
getting it out of the way, there's no harm in that, to be honest.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Who have you got this weekend for game week 30? I think you've got
So
Dave, haven't
I
you?
have Dave, yeah. So I've got Dave. So he has Haaland as well. I'm just looking. I'm just looking at his team. So he's got Haaland. Well, we've got quite similar. He's got Alison Becker, so he's got Alison Becker in goal, Virgil and Ekatike. He's got no João Pedro. He's got Timber,
You
no
know,
Gabriella.
Alison's injured. You know that, right? For a couple of months,
Oh, and
I
he's got
believe.
Darlow in goal, so he's going to have to change that. He's got no Gabriel currently. He's got Timber.
Oh,
So how many free transfers? He's got 2 free transfers. So I imagine I'll see Gabriel come in.
mm.
We'll have to see what happens with that, but yeah, I've got to go. I've
Timber
got to go
and
all guns blazing.
Timber and
Um,
Allison out, I
Timber and
guess.
Allison out, probably. I would say, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Well, interesting times. I'm really, really curious to see what people do for the double and blank, and the
yeah.
fact that they're back
Really
to
looking
back.
forward to it.
Yeah, the fact that they're back to back as well adds an extra dimension. I feel like we haven't really had that before. At least, I
No,
mean, we haven't had it this season where a double is immediately followed by a blank.
and
So,
it's at the perfect
so
time
yeah,
for our season, isn't it? With that little run into the playoffs, that it's come at the absolute ideal time, just to
exactly,
uh, put the shit up people and get them thinking before that game week 35 deadline and cut off for the playoffs. So,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, good luck with your game against Dave, and then I'm sure we'll be talking a bit more about game week 33 and the fact that you and I might be playing free hits against each other.
We will, mate. But I think me and Butler will be back on Friday. You're off for work bits,
Yeah.
aren't you? I think.
No, no, I'm going on a family holiday actually, going to San
Oh,
Diego,
lovely, mate.
which will be nice.
Oh,
San Diego.
lovely. So
Yeah, really
yeah,
looking forward to it.
don't do too much thinking about fantasy out there, mate. Yeah, for your game week
Yeah,
33
no,
sprint.
no, mate. I'll completely forget about it, I'm sure.
Sweet. Well, we'll catch you. We'll catch you next week at some point, and me and Butler will be back on Friday to preview game week 32, and talk a little bit about our Arsenal bottling it. Just leave you with that.
Well, they are currently drawing away to Sporting Lisbon.
40. Yeah, I saw that.
Not a bad result if they can win it at home. But yeah, may the fantasy gods be with you. Thanks for holding down the fort while I'm away, and I'll send you lots of pictures of sunny San Diego.
Cheers, mate. See you Friday, boys.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
It's the Sonny and Shaft Fantasy League.
And even though Son has left for the MLS,
our head-to-head league is still the best. Hosted by
Alex,
Ben,
CJ,
ABC.
Easy as 1, 2, 3.
It's another fantasy podcast.
Oh, fuck me.